Hey everyone, tonight we're taking a ride, a really rough ride, up to the locomotives because I got an idea. It's really early in the year. Basically, no one's going to be coming up here in the next few days. Tomorrow's going to be pouring rain. No one's going to be hiking this trail. No one's been here in a few days, I bet, since the last storm, because I just had to get out. Took like 10 minutes to clear the road. A big white pine tree was across the street, and I had to chainsaw that away. And you can tell by these tire marks of other people, they've been rained on. So no one's been up here in a few days. And I'm gonna try putting a trail camera out here. We're gonna leave it a couple days. It's gonna be garbage weather. Maybe a few people will come. Very unlikely someone will steal the camera even if they see it. I'm hoping to get some footage of some moose walking around those engines. That would be just awesome to get on camera. I'm hoping to get back to the car before 1 a.m. so we can get some sleep. Been on the road now for 16 hours driving around. We went all the way up to the top of the North Woods to the Canada border, and then all the way back, going really slow. Vehicle's very efficient. Just crawling at like 20 miles an hour on these junk roads. They're so soggy and slippery, only going like 20 miles an hour. It took like 8 hours to get from the top all the way back down to a gas station, filled back up, and we took 5 hours to get to this point because we're just crawling. It's just a nice ride. Only use a eighth of a tank getting up here, and we've been traveling 5 hours, so I guess that's good for gas. And this is going to be kind of scary doing this 2-mile hike out to the engines. It's now 11:45 p.m. 52 degrees. It's the middle of April. Still got some snow out here on the way up. Ton of rabbits. Saw a couple swamp donkeys, we can call them, and a few deer. It's also good to go slow because they like to hang out in the road. They must be eating all the maple tree buds because they're leaving piles of red poops. Also didn't help. Yesterday in the rain, we didn't travel at all, just watching some scary movies in the woods. That's not going to help with tonight's hike. Alright, we're almost there. Creepy and scary. No camping here. Well, we're going to sleep in the car, not camping, technically, I guess. Probably moose. Something's been walking on this trail, like, in the past few hours. A lot of trees cut up. Must have been pretty stormy during the winter. These trees weren't all scattered here. Last time we went out to the engines, my knees are killing me from that car ride. So many bumps and potholes. Look at all these trees down. This trail's an absolute mud hole, filled with hundreds of moose tracks. They're everywhere. Hope I don't bump into one of these guys in a pissed off mood. Especially angry with the camera light. Those guys charge people. Oh, look at this. Got a tree down across the trail. Like I said, the road had a giant white pine tree across it. White pine are like the biggest thing that grows out Oh, that just scared. I just heard howl. Well, now the coyotes know I'm here. All right, I know you can't see anything. There it is. Very obvious. Any hiker is going to see that. But I am at the parking lot camping out. So anyone that comes in here, I'll see. But I highly doubt anyone's going to be coming out here because, like I said, it's going to be pouring rain today. And like I just said, I just cut up a big tree, meaning since the last storm, nobody has had any interest in coming out here. And that's been a little while. It's kind of surprising. It's so dead out here this time of year. This time of year, it's free to come out here. There's no toll. Usually you got to pay $15 a day and $16 if you're going to spend the night camping. I actually paid that. I don't even know if what I'm doing is considered camping. I'm just sleeping in the vehicle. Yeah, the checkpoints aren't open this time of year. Usually you pay to use the roads, then you got to sign something, and if you don't come back, they'll come looking for you. There's no check-in this time of year. You're on your own. No one's going to come looking for you. That doesn't start until May. It's April. It can technically still snow up here. I'm amazed that it feels humid right now. Well, makes sense. It's gonna rain any moment now. It's supposed to start around midnight. You know how I said this trail's a mess? It kind of brings back memories of before it was a trail. You know, years ago, the road coming out here was terrible, and you had to bushwhack all the way out here to find these on your own. They didn't give out directions because they didn't want people getting stuck. The road used to be so bad, but now basically any SUV can come out here, not a car. Too many raised culverts and rocks, you'll destroy a car. Someone actually was stupid enough last year to bring a Prius up here. They smashed the oil pan on a rock and had to get it towed out of here because they kept driving and ruined the engine. But now, in the last year, those trains actually appeared on Google Maps. So that means a lot of people will probably be here this summer. Last summer, were not on Google Maps, those trains. You could type it in. They had a Google profile, but it gave you no directions. Now Google will bring you right on here. That was probably put on Google by the logging company because they're making money off those locomotives. It's $16 for every car that comes in to see them. And I'm sure that'll bring probably a few thousand cars over the summer. All right, finally back to the parking lot. My biggest concern tonight was running into a moose because at night, they just won't move out of your way. When they see a camera light coming, that can spook them, and when you piss off a moose, they've been known to stomp people into the ground, especially at night. But, like, most of the time they'll just run away. But there's always that chance, and we are like 150 miles away from the nearest cell phone signal. And I said this road here, I had to cut up some trees just to get here. No one has come out to this place in who knows how long. It's probably only been a couple of days since those trees fell. And also, this place is dead this time of year. It took me over 5 hours coming up here because I was going like super slow, just enjoying it. Kind of fun going over the bumps. Did not pass one other car. Kind of liked it. Very peaceful. Right now the air is so still. It's so quiet, no wind. If you pause and listen, you can always hear something in the distance walking. And I have no idea what it is. Because in the woods, a mouse and a great big moose make the same noise when they're ruffling leaves around. That is a giant bummer. 2 days of waiting around, and all the moose were hanging out in the muddy trail. Not one of them walked by these engines. Not even one animal walked. Well, that was a failure. Picked up the trail camera. Can't believe it, never mind the moose, not one animal has taken this trail in the past 2 days. But on the way to get the camera, whole trail was covered in brand new moose tracks. But they just didn't like to go around the engine. That was a disappointment. It's actually oddly nice coming out here after a night of rain, because this area has a bunch of these grouse birds, and as you're walking through the woods and they're just waking up, you can hear this pulsing sound they make as they're banging their wings really hard against the ground. In some cases, to me, I'm like, can I hear my own heartbeat? But it keeps getting louder and louder as they flap harder. And then eventually you realize it's not you. Other times, with the right setting, it sounds like a cable is winding up, like in a horror movie, about to swing across real fast. It's like the perfect pulsing noise that it hits your eardrums hard, like something out here is actually happening, but then you realize it's this tiny bird. See that bird right there?